It is time for me to start my fall making for my fall update, and so I wanted to bring you along with me as I work in my studio for one day. I started by weighing out an entire bag of clay into either pound or pound and a quarter blocks of clay. This allows me some variation in the sizes of mugs that I'm going to make, but I am planning on making only one type today, just various sizes of pumpkin mugs. I then store all of my balls of clay in a tote box to keep them nice and ready to throw, and then set up my wheel with my favorite ribs so that throwing is easily accessible and I don't have to go looking for them later. Of course, also tossing my sponge in the bucket. I'll then grab my clay a few at a time, enough that will fit on the board, but no more, and sit down to start throwing. Now, I'm throwing pumpkin mugs today, which are one of my favorite things to make during the fall. Last year, by this time, I was pretty much done throwing all of the pumpkin mugs, and I decided this year I wanted to start a little bit later. I think I started a little too early and then wore myself out on fall before fall had really even started. That is always one of the tricky parts of being a small business who has to make things along with the seasons because while I can sell flower mugs in fall, people tend to want fall themed things in fall. So I have to think ahead, but I also want to enjoy my favorite season, so I started a little bit later than I did last year, making this big batch of mugs. I really enjoy throwing this shape for the pumpkin mugs. They are round, but they're still tapered just enough out at the lip that they're comfortable to drink from. I found a lot of commercial pumpkin mugs taper in too much at the lip and then they dribble when you go to drink from them or pour over the sides, which I think is absolutely unacceptable. I want my pumpkin mugs to be super comfortable to drink from. After I throw the form, it's time to alter it, which I do directly off of the wheel so the clay is nice and soft. I start by dividing the mug into different little 8 sections so that they're nice and even, and then I use a rib to press out from the inside to shape the lobes of the pumpkin. I work my way all the way around the mug, being careful not to distort the mug too much, but it is really common for these to no longer be perfectly symmetrical afterwards, and that is okay. Pumpkins aren't symmetrical either, so I sometimes just go in and adjust a little bit like this. I'll then also go in from the outside and press in all of the little divots up the side so that the lobes are a little bit more defined. I'll then smooth over the bottom, and then these mugs are set up to dry. And here's a look at how many I made in that single day. It was really exciting to throw this much. I hadn't made a whole bunch of pots in a long time, and you'll have to let me know in the comments what colors you'd like to see. There will, of course, be orange, but pumpkins come in all kinds of colors, and I can't wait to see what you want.